Hello, could you do a video on an 18-year-old who doesn't have much money and how they could get a whole life insurance policy? I would be happy to help. So for an 18-year-old, it would be very easy to get a whole life insurance policy. There's a very, very good chance they would not need any medical underwriting, and you could set that policy up with a very low minimum premium. You could get it as low as about $250 per year, or call it 20 bucks per month, very close to that, with the ability to just pour extra money into the cash value and see that puppy compound over time. With that said, I don't know that I would recommend it based on your comment of doesn't have much money. So whole life insurance offers some fantastic long-term benefits when it's set up right, just as we see that cash value compound, and the death benefit also goes up over time as well. However, if you're in a position right now where you don't have very much money in checking and savings, what I would recommend is building that up first and maybe even tackling some debt if you have any debt, such as credit cards and such. And I say this because getting a whole life insurance policy where I take a hit in the first year, like if I have a policy and I pay in $2,000 in the first year, my cash value might be somewhere between $1,500 and $1,700 in the first year. So I take somewhere between a $300 and $500 loss. If I'm in a position where I don't have very much money, I'm really going to feel that. I say that speaking from experience. When I was 22 or 23 years old, I got my first whole life insurance policy. I did not have any money. I was not making any money, but I thought I was going to make a lot of money. So I said, yeah, let me get this whole life insurance policy. The minimum was $100 some odd per month. And I struggled to keep that policy in force. It was just a stretch to pay it every month because I thought I was going to make a ton of money, but it didn't happen until years later. So I struggled. And the last thing we ever want when we're trying to save money long term is to struggle, and then we feel like the product is a burden. So my advice would be to build some money up just in checking and savings. And once you have a healthy balance, and specifically you don't see it go down very much for a 6 or maybe 12-month period, that could be a good indicator of starting a whole life insurance policy. There's more steps to take, and we can always talk to you and go over exactly what to do versus what not to do. But I would definitely recommend building up some excess cash just in checking and savings before starting a whole life insurance policy, because it would alleviate a lot of stress. Let me know if this helps, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to email us or leave a comment below.